So much to see in a castle of this size. Isn't everyone's head spinning? Finally, we got to the Tenshu, the castle tower that we've been seeing for a while now. But before we start talking about that, after passing through the Sakuramon Gate, a Western-style building suddenly appeared on the right. This building was constructed as the army headquarters when the Tenshu was rebuilt in 1931. A military facility in such a place. But in fact, many of the castles in Japan were confiscated by the imperial army and used as military facilities from the late 19th century. Surely, there's no other place with such an efficient defense function, right? Osaka Castle was said to be the best military facility in the East at the time. After the war, it became the Osaka Metropolitan Police Department, then became the Osaka Prefectural Police Headquarters, and after that was used as the Osaka City Museum until 2001. After giving earthquake resistance construction, it is now operating as a complex called Miraiza Osaka Castle. There are also restaurants and other facilities here, so if you are tired, you can take a break here. Now, finally, the Tenshu Castle Tower. It's still big when you see it up close. Let me tell you a little about the history of the Tenshu. Osaka Castle, including its Tenshu, was built in 1583 by Toyotomi Hideyoshi, and it's said to have been 4 to 5 times the size of today's Osaka Castle. And it took 15 years to build. The Tenshu is said to have been gold, or was it black? How the Tenshu was like is full of mysteries. 32 years later, in 1616, the castle was invaded by the Tokugawa family. At that time, the castle tower burned down with the fall of the Toyotomi family. All the documents and other materials inside the tower were also lost. In 1620, the Tokugawa family decided to rebuild Osaka Castle. After 10 years of work, the new castle was built with higher stone walls, a deeper moat, and the Tenshu raised 15 meters higher than before. I can strongly feel the message that Toyotomi has been erased and Tokugawa has taken over. The castle built by the Toyotomi family has disappeared without a trace. However, the new Tenshu was destroyed by lightning 35 years later in 1665. After that, no castle tower was built here for 250 years. In 1928, as part of a project to commemorate Emperor Showa's accession to the throne, they decided to rebuild the Tenshu, which had been a dream of the citizens of Osaka. Donations were collected, and in about 6 months, 1.5 million yen, or about 6 billion yen in today's value, was raised. However, since it was already owned by the Imperial Army, 500,000 yen was spent on the keep, 200,000 yen on the park, and the rest was used for the military headquarters. And in 1931, Japan's first reinforced concrete Tenshu was born. At that time, it was born as the Tenshu of Toyotomi Hideyoshi's era, but various research has been conducted to discover which era the current Tenshu is from. it is still a mystery. Since both Tenshu of the Toyotomi and Tokugawa periods burned down, there are very few records left. The only clue is found on the 5 existing folding screen paintings depicting Osaka Castle. All of the Tenshu depicted are 5 stories high, but each has a different color. Since accurately recorded historical data was still scarce, the most important reference for the reconstruction of the castle tower was the painting of Battle of Osaka in the summer. I don't know the exact date of production of this folding screen painting, but it is said to have been painted right after the summer battle because it is very detailed. However, it is said that the current tower is somewhat like the mixture of Toyotomi era and Tokugawa era Tenshu. The clues such as the foundation of the keep and the gold leaf tiles that were probably used for the original tower have been excavated, so further research may reveal the truth of original Tenshu in the future. During World War II, Osaka Castle was an important military base, so of course it was the target of air raids. Unfortunately, the turrets and gates burned down, but the Tenshu was made of reinforced concrete. There was a little bit of damage, but nothing serious, thank goodness. After the war, the castle was confiscated by the U.S. military, but it was returned to Osaka City in 1948 and has been open to the public since 1949. On the inside is the Osaka Castle Museum, where you can learn a lot about Osaka Castle. On the 5th floor, there is an easy to understand explanation of the Battle of Osaka in the summer, so please take a look. The Tenshu of the Toyotomi Hideyoshi era was destroyed within 32 years of its conception, and that of the Tokugawa era within 35 years. So the current Tenshu, which became 90 years old in 2021, has actually been in existence the longest. It's now a symbol of Osaka in both name and reality. If you look closely at the castle tower, you can see a fish-like golden creature on the roof, right? This is the shachi, a legendary animal. Its face is a dragon's and its body is that of a fish. Back in the day, all buildings were made of wood, so the biggest enemy was fire. The shachi was thought to be an animal that protected buildings from fire, so it is often seen on the tenshu of castles. There are several shachi on this tenshu. Can you see them? There actually was a controversy about the shape of these shachi during the reconstruction in 1931. The shachi that was adopted was the one at the top, with a smaller face that's similar to a fish. However, some researchers resisted and opposed the idea, saying that the shachi of the Toyotomi period would have had a larger and sharper face. What was finally adopted was a shachi with a smaller face that's closer to that of a fish. Today, it still stands on top of the tenshu guarding the castle. However, its face is actually different from those of the shachi at the other levels. The other shachi have the big, sharp faces that the opposing researchers favored, right? So I guess that means that both ideas were adopted in the end. In this way, the current castle tower was born based on the opinions and research of many people. Do you see the shining crouching tiger on the fifth level? With its sharp eyes, it seems to be aiming at its prey, don't you think? This tiger had also been around in the Toyotomi period, and some researchers say that it may be from the Tokugawa era Tenshu, because Tokugawa Ieyasu was born in the year of the tiger. The Tenshu is now a museum for learning about Osaka Castle and Toyotomi Hideyoshi. There are elevators now, so you can take the elevator to the fifth floor first, then take the stairs to the observatory, and enjoy a panoramic view of Osaka from the observatory. If the elevator is crowded, you can of course also take the stairs to the top floor. The only way down is via the stairs, so you can look at the exhibition rooms on each floor as you go down. Photography is not allowed on the third and fourth floors, so please be mindful of this. Well, enjoy your sightseeing in the Tenshu.